The material is so wonderful, you can do wonderful things with it. So I'm building a tower. I like Dingyao. The clay is not easy though, because of that openness. And that innovation has been very important for the success. I guess that's what I'm looking for. I'm Marc Luthold, I'm 62 years old. I'm an artist and I've also been a teacher for many years. I taught since 1987. Afterwards, I've worked in ceramics for 30 years, maybe more. When I was a child, my father was an art collector and he collected Song Dynasty. In particular, my favorite pieces of his were Dingware, Dingyao. I never forget it. He had a cup, a beautiful cup. It was so beautiful. And then he had a vase. They were very beautiful. China is the only country in the world that's named after ceramics. I've seen gorgeous, modern Dingyao. I also like the early Ming period. But my understanding of Chinese ceramics, one of the things I've learned, the more I see and the more I learn, the more I realize how little I know. Babel. It was do you know this tower? Thousands of years ago, ancient people in the Middle East wanted to go to heaven. So I'm building a tower also, and it will not work. But I still am going to build it. With Dingyao Taozi. I'm here for 2 or 3 months. I have loved it here very much. I love stories. So I have always loved history. I almost was a history major in college. Before I did art, I actually wanted to be a history major. So I've always been fascinated with history. And the thing is, you talked about my understanding of Chinese ceramics and Chinese history. I don't think anyone can fully understand Chinese ceramics. It's 5,000 years. It's too rich, it's too deep. I've looked at it all my life. One of the things I hope to do is to go to more of the ancient kiln sites so that I can understand it better.
尤其是什么呀？古代中国的人物画，往往就是什么呀？画神仙的，就是纯粹的神仙。神仙和什么呀？和这个自然的场景结合在一起，非常深。
Pang Lao Shi, or as I like to call him, Pang Da Shi, he has been very welcoming. Anything that I wanted, he provided. This is why I have a very warm feeling towards him. I greatly admire and respect I can't pronounce his name correctly, Chen Wen, and then there's, yes, it's a wonderful story how he knew about this tradition, it was completely lost, and how he tried to resurrect it, and he made beautiful pieces, very much in the spirit of the ancients. I could never do that, but I deeply admire and respect he and Pang Laoshi and the many others here who have done that. I like Dingyao. The clay is not easy though. I've been making pieces mostly in response to the landscape, not entirely. Also, the clay itself seems so natural for that type of work. And also that work is so different from traditional Dingyao ware, which I wanted, I did not want to copy Dingyao ware. So instead I wanted to explore something new and different, but also consistent with my work. And I'm not able to describe my work in only a few words because I've spent 40 years making it. It's too complicated. 90% of the brain is subconscious. We're only 10%. The 90% is the interesting part. So I don't want to be so controlling. I want to let accidents happen, let mistakes happen. I think this is how discoveries are made. Look, all morning long, they are making these baijiu glasses. Look, they have to make them perfect.谢谢。
给我们送礼。
这个设计漂亮，对不对？
再把这儿擦了。
可以吗？
这。
可是在这儿，有不有？我不知道。哦，谢谢，谢谢，谢谢。I know I'm responding to what I'm experiencing here. I've experienced a lot of kindness.
你是大师的大师。
No, 我这个漂亮，you saw in the factory, everyone will help me.
这个
对，这个好，可是再见，谢谢好，明天，谢谢。OK， 谢谢，再见，谢谢好。That young man, that assistant of mine, did you see how fragile my works are? When I was moving them, they were falling apart. 不是问题大师。When we were glazing, he moved them more than I did. He's so careful. Then we were like, oh my God, how do I get them from here to Hangzhou? So first we talked about driving them, and he said, I will drive them to Hangzhou. I said, well, it's impossible. And he says, no, I will go with the young man who was the designer. The two of them would take turns driving all night to there. And I was like, that's crazy. So then later on, I said, no, you can take them on the train. So those two young men took my work to Hangzhou on the train and unwrapped them and set them up as if they were newborn babies. And, you know, this kind of so many good qualities, conscientiousness, respect, support, hard work, diligence. There's so many good qualities that these two young men exhibited. I know this is going to have an impact on my work, but I can't say exactly how yet. You know, if there's the ones that they've done a lot of work on are going to be more expensive. So I think it's better several smaller ones and the round one. You know, in Shanghai, where I lived for so long, we have these beautiful stones. A lot of them are Taihu stones, which are not from here, but then a lot of them are the stones from Quyang. Oh, this is where they all come from. And I was like, wow, I want to make something for the town. And so we were having dinner, and one of the government people was there. And I told him I want to make something that will last 1,000 years. You know, like a Dingyao, Taozi. And he liked the idea, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. He is willing to do this. Oh, 这个 no, oh. So wait, we need to. We already found a location. He took me into the main park, which isn't far from here. The other thing is the stones are so big that people walking on the paths will see them too. I kind of picked a location, and there's a small body of water, and on the far side it's very neglected and ugly. There's a pipe.
Oh, 这儿有个管子.
And I thought, that's the perfect location. It needs something. And I said, right here, and it will be reflected in the water. From 2018 to 2023, I was a full-time professor at Shanghai Institute of Visual Arts. They're the only one of those schools that hired a foreign professor full-time to teach ceramics. I think that was a wonderful thing to do, because I could connect my students with the outside world because of that openness. And that innovation has been very important for the success. The design for my stone sculpture for Quyang, I want to go help with this project. And he liked the idea. I was so happy. Because they're open, people from other parts of the world can come in, talent can come from outside and do amazing things. Can you tell me, wait, more? Okay.
那个没事，到不到那里。
这个好。You know, luck and fate, too powerful. I think this is terrible, because if everything is just luck or fate, then I think we're very lazy. You know, if it's just luck and fate, it doesn't matter.
Oh look，一点点问题，可是没关系。
The harder you work, the luckier you are. I like that more. And, I've always tried to work very hard. To me, hard work is almost like a prayer that something better will happen in the future. And it did.